It's September 10th, 2025. Time is 11:49 a.m. We can see the suspected Charlie Kirk assassin walking to the Utah Valley campus. You can see him walking with a limp because he's hiding a bolt-action rifle in his pants. At 11:52 a.m., he gets to the campus. He goes through the stairwells and climbs up on the roof to the shooting location. He sets up in position and waits for a clean shot. Exactly 31 minutes later, he fires one shot, hits Charlie Kirk in the neck, and begins his escape. As of writing of this video, authorities still haven't found him, and this is how he evaded them. It is September 10th in Orem, Utah. We're on the Utah Valley University campus, where over 3,000 youths have gathered outside, braving one of the last hot days of summer to debate with one man, Charlie Kirk. For the last few years, Kirk has made a name for himself. He has done many events just like this one today on campuses all across the country. Clips from these events have gotten billions of views on social media, gaining him both fans and detractors.
What is a woman?
That's a stupid question, dude. That's a dumb question.
He can't answer what a woman is. It's not a trick question.
Because of this, Charlie always traveled with private security when attending these events. You can actually see them in most clips. But today, things would take a turn for a lot worse. This event was the first event of the American Comeback Tour that Charlie announced back in August. It was not without controversy though. There was already a petition going around this campus urging the college administrators to stop him from speaking. The event was scheduled to start at 12 p.m. exact. On top of his own security detail, there were 6 uniformed UVU police officers on site, plus some plainclothes officers at the event to manage the crowd. Later reports show that shooter arrived on the campus at 11:52 p.m. According to the police, he appeared to be of college age and blended in well on campus. The gunman went through stairwells and climbed up to a roof to a shooting location. The shooting location was roughly 130 meters or 420 feet from where Charlie was sitting. This social media clip reportedly shows the shooter in position before the shooting. You can hear the recorder say,
"So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying. He just ran from over, where's my finger? Whoa, from over there, ran in."
This was the view shooter had of the event. Other social media clips actually showed Charlie walking into the event at 12:09 p.m., throwing merch to supporters nearby. At 12:23 p.m., we can hear Charlie debating with an audience member about mass shooting in America.
You know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
This is when we can see Charlie pick up the mic to ask,
Counting or not counting gang violence?
And right as he puts down the mic, a single shot is fired. It hit Charlie in the neck, close to his carotid artery. We can see him jolt back and blood gushes out of his neck. Panic ensues in the crowd all across the campus as shooter begins his escape. We'll come back to this escape in just a second. Near the tent, within seconds of the shooting, we can see first responders pick up Charlie and rush him towards an SUV. He was taken to Timpanogos Regional Hospital in Orem, which is roughly 5 minutes from the campus. Around the time Charlie arrives at the hospital, Utah Valley campus is also locked down, and authorities begin cordoning off the roof area of the center where shooter was. At 1:45 p.m., roughly 1 hour and 20 minutes after the shooting, Associated Press reports that Charlie is in critical conditions at the hospital. Then, at 2:40 p.m., 50 minutes after that report, President Trump publicly confirms that Charlie Kirk has passed away. He leaves behind his wife and 2 little kids, a 3-year-old daughter and 1-year-old son. Unfortunately, his whole family was at the campus with him when the shooting happened. During the chaos, we can actually see in one of the social media clips shooter moving on the roof after the shot was fired. According to the investigators, the shooter moved to the other side of the building, jumped off and fled off campus into a neighborhood. His escape was caught on a campus camera that investigators released last night. If you look at the clip, we can see the time at the top being 12:23 p.m. This is just seconds after the shot was fired. We can also see the suspect get up from the shooting position and run towards the end of the building. Then he lowers himself to the ground and jumps. To me, it looks like he hurt his leg on the jump, but I could be wrong. Investigators shared that they were able to pick up a footwear impression, a palm print, and a forearm imprint, exactly where he jumped off the building. DNA analysis is being done on all of them right now. After jumping off, we can see the suspect walk across the parking lot and disappear outside the view of the camera. He goes back into the neighborhood that he used to come to the campus. As of writing of this video, investigators have worked through these neighborhoods, contacting anyone they can with the doorbell cameras, and have thoroughly worked through those communities, trying to identify any leads. Luckily, the same camera from the start of the video also picked up his escape. Here, we can again see him walking across the field in front of the camera, in quite a bit of hurry this time. He disappears behind the house, but then reappears on the other side and walks out of the view of the camera. They also found a high-powered bolt-action rifle, which is believed to be the weapon used to shoot Kirk. The rifle was found in a wooded area where shooter had fled. Ballistic tests are underway. Exact make, model, and caliber have not been released by the police. But according to a New York Post report, it is supposed to be a caliber Moser bolt-action rifle. Unlike a semi-automatic rifle, which reloads itself with each trigger pull, a bolt-action rifle requires shooter to manually lift and pull back a bolt handle after each shot to eject the empty shell and load the next bullet. Something like this is used for hunting large animals like deer, elk, or even competitive long-range target shooting. The reason I'd point these details out is because many online have speculated that this was a work of a trained assassin or a professional marksman. They pointed to the distance of the shot and accuracy to support their theory. Then they also point out that this shooter only fired one shot, compared to the Trump shooter in Butler, Pennsylvania, who initially fired 3 shots, then 5 more. But these are very weak arguments to support the theory. Bolt-action rifles are standard tool used for hunting deer, elk, or other big game here in the United States. On top of that, as mentioned earlier, most deer hunters sight their rifles at 100 to 200 yards, roughly the same distance as the shot at the campus, which was around 140 yards. A hunter with even moderate practice, especially with a scope, could consistently hit the vital zone of a deer, which is comparable to a human neck. So, while the accuracy was lethal, it is within the ability of a regular hunter, not proof of elite or professional training. Of course, that's not to say it could not be a professional marksman, but we just don't know enough yet. However, the FBI did publish these pictures to identify the suspect. As I was finishing up this video, just this morning, police arrested a suspect named Tyler Robinson. Here's how he was discovered.
On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images.